Okay. Very unusual intro for me. It feels weird doing it and feels weird with the setup, but it's what we got for today. So today is CGT week number 7. We are taking on JV, coach of the Atlanta Victinis. If you guys are excited for today's Pokemon Wi-Fi battle, make sure the like button and subscribe button down below. And obviously, I have some explaining to do. There will be a timestamp if you want to just skip to when I'm commentating the battle, but I have a little bit of rambling I need to do first. Instead of doing it at the end of the video, may as well get it out of the way. So obviously I'm post-comming this week. Now, like last week, if you guys checked out at the end of last week, I mentioned I was going through a lot of personal stuff. I still am, but it's gotten a little bit better. But last week for me, this week for you, however you want to look at it, I really underprepared for JV in the sense that my matchup was not there, and it was already a bad matchup, and I'll explain why it was a bad matchup in a second. But it was a bad matchup, and I did not adequately prepare. Like, I did not use the given time. JV and I scheduled for Thursday afternoon. And even then some Jay had a doctor's appointment, so we had to push back a little bit later in the day. A little bit, like, I think we were scheduled for like 2, and we didn't end up playing till like 4. But even with all that time from Sunday to Thursday afternoon, I probably spent maybe an hour or 2 on this team, which is nowhere near how much effort I've put into any of my teams this season. If you know me, and for like people who are closer to me know, I spend a lot of time on my own, building my own teams, working on it. Which is something else I wanted to clarify. A couple people to ask me before. I don't actually use the front office. I don't ask many people for help building, if any. This week, Owen came in clutch, really helping me because I was really struggling with this one. But a lot of the time, I'm on my own. I build my own. I do self mocks, which is a whole thing. I really just kind of grind up the team on my own because I can really get into the own specifics and nitty gritties and do how I need to think, and that's how I feel like I come up with some pretty solid teams, even though they're not always perfect. But it's my process that works how it works. But yeah, this week I was completely overflooded with just IRL stuff. Really, I was gonna say like work, but no, it's all my IRL stuff. I have a giant family thing going on right now. I'm not gonna get into it, but I have a giant family thing going on right now that's taken up all of my time. And I just have not had time to adequately prepare for this or any other leagues that I'm in, like covering a couple showdown tournaments and stuff. So, yeah, you really see the lack of preparedness this week. And like I said, the matchup was not there. And the reason the matchup was not there is because JV kind of fucked me over. Not fucked me over, but essentially what happened is I made my transactions like I discussed last week. They were in effect for week 5 against Shuckle. And then last week, the end of week 5, week 6, whatever you want to call it, was when transactions had to be in by. So I made all my transactions, the Blaziken, the Steelix, the Colossal, and the Rotom, in preparation for future matchups. Looked at my matchups, realized that URSHIFU didn't do so good, realized that things like Registeel didn't do so good, that Steelix could just do, and really kind of like thought about my transactions in that sense as well. It's kind of working as a team. And my matchup against JV was actually pretty good until Jay used all of his transactions to change his team up basically entirely, which then turned my matchup from pretty solid to holy fuck, I get railed by Jay's offense. Because he picked up some really solid offense in things like URSHIFU Rapid and a Sun Core with Torkoal and Venusaur, neither of which I really deal with very well. So, not preparing properly with an adequate time, plus a completely different matchup than I thought it would be when I made my transactions, making my team weaker, really put me on the back foot, which rubs in the loss against Gray last week even more, because if I would have had that win, I wouldn't be as concerned about this game. But yeah, it's a whole shit show here, and not only do you see the lack of preparedness in my build, you also see it and hear it in my commentary, and that's why I'm post-comming. It's not that I say anything bad. It's not that I have another fucking anxiety attack like last week. No, honestly, I started watching this back to edit it, and it's probably my worst commentary to date. Because a lot of it's kind of just me flopping around and not really knowing what to say. I didn't have a lot of the energy in me to be who I am in my videos, to have that personality on, but I also didn't have any pieces really going my way or have anything to say about what's going on. So it was a really lackluster commentary, so I felt like I needed to post comment and kind of give you guys maybe a more in-depth look of more so what I did wrong and where I could have been better, instead of play by play, here's what happened. So Yeah, I apologize for this. Week 8, we play Badass Frostlass. I can guarantee the commentary's there. I can guarantee the effort's there. I actually just finished building that team before I sat down to edit this. I finalized that team and got it put in. So I feel good about that matchup. So we'll be back to normality for week 8 and week 9. But like I said, life has been absolutely kicking my ass lately. So I apologize to bring you lackluster commentary and lackluster videos as a whole, but it is what it is. We're here. So, yeah, like I said, we're taking on Jay, and he has an amazing roster because his transactions really screwed me over. He had things like Alakazam for the Tapu Lele Expanding Force Core, Corviknight, and he had a couple other things before he made his transactions, and then he picked up our former teammate URSHIFU, which turns out to actually rail me, because if I bring in Suicune, he clicks U-turn and goes into his Torkoal to set up the Sun, or his Venusaur, which abuses the Sun and kind of runs my entire team, which is not so good for me. Suicune is also set up fodder for like a sub-bulk up Urshifu. I've done that in the past with Urshifu. If you've seen IBA way back when, I literally set up on a Suicune on the fact that it didn't have Roar, and just beat an entire team with it. So Suicune is very exposable this game, and even if he's just a straight up Bandit or Scarf Urshifu, he has so many other things that just come in and abuse Suicune. So I really had to play a more aggressive team this week, but it just didn't line up. The stars didn't line up for this one. So yeah, I'm trying to remember my build exactly. I have a Boots Special Zera. I believe I mixed. I think I'm 3 attacks mixed, but I could just be full special. I don't remember what I decided on. Life Orb Azelf does really good into Jay's team. It is one of my better breakers this game, and hopefully I have to play a little bit more aggressive with it. We have a Sugarberry Lure Slowking for a Growth Venusaur. The idea is come in as he growths and then kill him with Psychic as he Earthquakes me. Life Orb Blaziken goes absolutely crazy. It 2-hit KOs my Lota coming in. So the Blaziken just claims a kill every time it's in. We have a Choppleberry Steelix as our Lele check thing. 2-hit KOs everything on our team. But it's why I drop Registeel, because if it's locked into Specs Focus Blast, it's going to 2-hit kill me regardless. So it's one of those things you kind of just have to play around Lele and not defensively check it. And then I have my Urshifu check. Rocky Helmet, Flame Body, Colossal. Yeah, like I said, Rotom gets 2-hit KO'd, and Suicune loses me so much momentum, and Rotom just gets U-turned on. So my idea, lead Colossal. If he Scarf Urshifu, it takes all 3 hits to kill me, just because I'll live that second hit on like 1 HP, so it uses the 3rd hit to kill me. 3 rounds of Rocky Helmet, and I believe it's a 20% chance to not get the burn after 3 Surging Strikes. So the odds are in my favor to really get the burn on the Urshifu. If I can burn the Urshifu, it's less of a threat, because things like Oogie and Oogie can take a hit pretty well, and everything on my team can take a hit pretty well, barring the Blaziken there. Even Azelf can take 1 from a Scarf Urshifu if it's banded. So that's really, we're putting all my eggs in the Colossal basket. So yeah, that's essentially where we're at. Jay has brought his Urshifu Rapid, his Tapu Lele, my mouse is recording it, his Vikavolt, his Mudsdale, his Milotic, and his Drapion. So I did get the 6 predicted. Owen and I spent an hour or 2 mocking, just trying to grind out this team, and this is the best we got before I had to just go to sleep because I was getting frustrated with matchup. I won a couple straight with this, so I had very minimal confidence, but it was probably about as good as it was going to get. So yeah, we are leading with our Urshifu check, because if he doesn't lead with it, his alternative leads could be something like Vikavolt, which just deters webs as being my spinner and being a fire type. It could be Colossal, which could be kind of annoying, but that gives me a free switch into Azelf as he sets up rocks or a Earthquake. And I don't really see him leading with Milotic, Drapion, or Lele. And if he leads Lele, I can kind of deduce, like, he's not clicking Moonblast. Just based on my team, he'll probably end up clicking Focus Blast or Psychic. I could always go into Oogie. Since there's no Venusaur, Oogie's a little bit more expendable, and kind of scout damage there and play around it accordingly. So yeah, we'll fast forward through this goofballs intro. Good luck, fun to JV. Make sure you get, like I said, make sure you guys go check out JV. He has amazing content quality, and his commentary is a lot better than mine this game. So make sure you guys go check him out. Love Jay to death, and the dude somehow always just bullies me every time we play. It's weird. So he does leave with the Urshifu. This is exactly what we wanted. We are kind of banking on the burn here. If we don't get the burn, it's kind of game over. So yeah, that's where we're at. He's gonna go for the Surging Strikes, so we know we take 2 unless he's banded. If he's banded, it does that much and knocks my poor boy to the absolute next dimension, And as you're going to see, we're going to get 2 rounds of Rocky Helmet, but we're not going to get a Flame Body Burn. This immediately puts me on the back foot, because now this is a banded URSHIFU in my face, and it's not burned. This is tough. This is really bad. I know I can go into Azelf here. I'm just debating if I want to go Azelf or Zera. We went for attacks. I took off Volt Switch because I was never clicking it for knockoff, in case I could knock off incoming Mudsdale. Yeah, so I'm kind of just deciding what my best sequence of plays here is. I do opt to go into my Azelf, as this does force a lot of damage onto his team. But here I make an absolute pussy play. He's an URSHIFU. He's banded. I know he's banded. So he should be switching out here into most likely his Drapion. So I should be clicking Fire Blast here. But I do this a lot this game. I get too scared to predict. I think I lost a little bit of confidence after last week. And just the lack of confidence in this team really put a damper on my mood. Also, I'm so glad I'm covering my face cam because my hair is super fucked in this video. So good job, me. I'll learn how to do my hair before I fucking play Pokemon games. I click Psychic here, and of course he's not going to sack off his banded URSHIFU that kills my entire team. He's going to switch into Swole Body, which is his Drapion, and I'm going to look like an absolute fucking fool here because I get 0 value on the Drapion, 0 damage, 0 information, 0 anything on the Drapion. So now I'm going to switch out into my Steelix. Steelix can kind of pivot into this pretty well. Knocking off my Chople Berry sucks, but Lele still is going to blow through me regardless. Yeah, it's just tough. But I can get my rocks up here. He's going to knock me off. This is going to do nothing, and even if he is like Earthquake or anything like that, it's just going to bounce off Steelix because of how bulky I am. So I can get my rocks up here as he goes into a Vikavolt. Yeah, he went into Vikavolt as I set up my rocks. So Vikavolt, I don't fully expect webs, to be fully honest, because my team, as I've shown throughout the entire season, like you can set up webs and spikes against my team, but it really doesn't affect me in the long run unless I play like an absolute fool like I did against Fen. But like most weeks, like against Patmac, I showed why webs aren't that great against my team because so much of my team either doesn't care about speed or is running boots like Zeraora. So I don't expect him to go webs here, but he totally could for things like Blaziken now and punish a non-boot Zera. I'm gonna go into my Slowking because I am primarily Spadef, and I can take hits from this thing very easily. If he wants to Volt Switch and gain momentum, I might get him into Mudsdale, which if I can get damage on that with my Sugar Berry, then that opens up Zeraora an absolute fuck ton, which is amazing for me. So now I'm just gonna fire off of I believe click Future Sight, or no, I click Ice Beam here because I expect him to Volt Switch into his Drapion. As he is just going to go for the Bug Buzz, and this kind of confused me at first because I was like, why you don't net anything, especially if I'm AV, but he's going to reveal the Throat Spray Vikavolt here. Definitely was not expecting that, but at +1, this thing does a little bit of damage, boys. Does a little bit of damage. Don't get an Ice Beam Freeze, never lucky. Yeah, so now this thing is an issue. But I know Slowking can very easily take any one hit from this thing. So we are going to, I'm just going to fire off a Future Sight, knowing I can take any hit here and then potentially punish this thing anyways. I'm not going to kill it. He's going to go for Mud Shot here. And I, A, didn't know this thing got Mud Shot, and B, didn't really know why he was running Mud Shot, because Bug Buzz and T-Bolt do so much to me if I'm AV or if I'm Spadef, to where I felt like Mud Shot was kind of weird, but also lowered my speed. But I guess it also works for Zera, who kind of pivots into this thing, but also just kill it with Bug Buzz. I don't know. But regardless, set was fucking, it kind of just murdered my face here. And what it does here, and the issue this is so bad, is because I can't make the pivot in the Blaziken. If I can go like aggressive Blaziken on a Bug Buzz, I'm EV to outspeed a Vikavolt under webs, unless he's like max speed Timid Vikavolt, which I highly doubt he brings. But I can't make that Blaziken pivot now because of Mudshot, which is super bad because this was my way of getting Blaziken in and forcing damage or forcing the KO on the Milotic. Which forcing the KO on Milotic really opens up Blaziken again later, opens up Steelix from really just getting walled by Milotic, and it's just a general nuisance out of the way. So I think I end up sacking off Slowking here because fuck, what am I supposed to switch into this thing? I need a clean switch into anything to really revenge it. So I'm just going to sack off Slowking on the off chance he like roosts or something, and then get the Future Sight damage off. He goes for Mudshot. I don't know if it can miss, but it doesn't, so that's unfortunate. And now my Slowking is going to go down. But we can bring in both our Blaziken and our Azelf here. I believe I opt for Azelf or Blaziken. I should opt for Blaziken here because I kill my Milotic coming in. I believe I go Blaziken here as that was the plan initially. No, I go Azelf because I want to force damage on the Drapion as well if he tries to preserve this, or I'll kill the Vikavolt if he stays in to bank off the miss or whatever. So I do go for Fire Blast. We are going to connect, thankfully, and we are going to remove all of this offensive Vikavolt, which is super good. We are not going to get 6-0'd, which is also very nice because that would probably kill my entire morale for the rest of the season. But yeah, Vikavolt is now gone. In comes Drapion, and we're back in the same issue we had before, where Drapion is just going to chip down Steelix, so Lele defensively is going to be borderline impossible to check now. But we do have to check it offensively. If it's Specs, we do have both Azelf and Zera who can outspeed and kill it. And if it's Scarfed, both Zera and Azelf can take a hit, depending on what it's locked into, depending how low Azelf gets off of Life Orb, and things like that. Also, Steelix shoots hits a lot better if it is Scarfed into Focus Blast. So I'm going to switch in my Steelix here, as I'm probably expecting another knockoff. He could Earthquake on my Predict, but it's not going to do anything. Steelix is just so fucking fat that it's not going to matter. Jay's going to make the correct play, though, and double out into Bosco, his URSHIFU, which I, again, probably should have seen coming because, it was such an obvious switch. But now I have to pick my sack, and it's going to be none other than Blaziken, who, fun fact, gets one-shot by Singular Surging Strike. Singular Surging Strike kills my poor boy here. Just one shot. That's just mean. That's just fucked up. Yeah, so Blaziken not getting to do anything again this week. Have been loving that mon though. Blaziken is a lot of fun. And now I'm bringing in Azelf here, and how this should have worked, he made an amazing aggressive double, which net him a kill. I need to make an aggressive play back to net me any sort of footing back in the game here, because if I play into him, I lose. He's just going to keep making that play. So I'm going to Fire Blast here, because he's not going to sack off URSHIFU. It kills Steelix, it kills URSHIFU, or kills Zera, and he definitely has Banded Aqua Jet for endgame. So he's going to go into his Milotic, which I wish I could have killed earlier with my Blaziken, but Mudshot Vikavolt is unfortunate. We are going to land Fire Blast. And at this point, I'm just going to start spamming Psychic into this thing. He is Flame Orb, which is really good for me because I figured he would be Flame Orb for Mamoswine, just to try and defensively check it. I didn't mean to click Shadow Ball there. I learned that when you use the Pro Controller, if you click right trigger on top of a move, it selects it for you. Didn't know that, but we do get a crit to kind of make up for me not clicking Energy Ball, I guess? I don't know. He's going to Scald. I'm going to take a shit ton on my Life Orb Azelf, but he's not going to get the burn, thankfully. And now we can finish him off with just about any move here. I think I end up clicking Energy Ball like I meant to. Or do I click Psychic here? I think I click Psychic because it didn't really matter if he made the Drapion pivot. I don't kill with Fire Blast, and I can't risk that here. I do Psychic just to get rid of his Milotic. He had no reason to keep it. Made sense. And in comes the Drapion. And I don't think he makes the double again. I don't remember if he does or not. I know he sends in Drapion here. Again, the whole plan was to get up rocks as well, but that also didn't go very well, so that's unfortunate. If I got the Flame Body burn off the first Surging Strike, I actually took the following two from URSHIFU if it was Scarfed, and got up rocks, which happened a couple times in mocks. Again, my game plan against URSHIFU was not very good. So he goes into Drapion here. I think I Fire Blast here? Do I Fire Blast or do I Pussy out again? I don't remember what happens here, because I think I'm debating calling his double again, but I think I just make the safe play into Steelix, and I think I should have Fire Blasted here to get damage for my Zera, but also I never got damage on Mudsdale, so Zera winning the game is impossible while Mudsdale's at full, because that Mudsdale is definitely Rindo Berry. There's no doubt in my mind. If he's anything else, it's very questionable, so he should definitely be Rindo Berry for my Zera Aura. I go into Steelix. I believe he does just click Knockoff here. I don't think he makes the double again. If he does, then fuck. Nope, he does click Knockoff here, which makes sense, as I think I click Earthquake, and he reveals to be Black Sludge. I don't know if I saw that earlier in the game. I realized I didn't see it until just about now, but he is Black Sludge on a Drapion, so that's cool. Yeah, I'm just going to Earthquake. He can go hard URSHIFU on the Earthquake and just claim his kill. It just does negative damage. He might not sack this, but if he goes into, like, he can make the aggressive URSHIFU, and if he does, he wins, and there's not really much I can do about it. But if he does go into something more defensive like Mudsdale, which he does end up doing, come on, he does go into Mudsdale, which this was a crazy play to me, and the reason I found this so crazy is because he has to be Rindo Berry, But depending on my investment with Zera, you're slowly getting chipped into range to kill even through Rindo Berry. Because I'm max special attack modest Zera, and even through Rindo to max BDF Mudsdale, I do about maybe 60-ish or early 50s to early 60s. So I feel like you risking that damage was very, very aggressive and a little not reckless, but it gave me just a teeniest little crack to get back into the game. So I'm going to Toxic here, because the Toxic damage over time nets me more damage than clicking Earthquake twice. He sets up rocks to just punish my Azelf coming in and out. But yeah, netting Toxic, because netting Toxic also does damage coming in. So instead of clicking Earthquake, Toxic into Earthquake will net me more damage in the long run, which if I get him into range of Zera, could actually win the game. If I can get him to bring in Lele first, then I can actually win the game with Zera. Just about now, actually. I know I take any one hit from this Mudsdale. I believe. I don't think +1 body press kills me. I'm pretty sure. He's going to withdraw. I think I double out into Azelf. Yeah, I switch into Azelf because I know that Azelf, despite being super low, can take +1 body press. I had to triple check that calc because I didn't think I was reading it right, but that calc said that I live body press from here. Still don't know if I fully believe it, but hey, that's what the calculator said, so trust him. I don't believe that I live that. I feel like the calc was wrong, and I'm just not very smart. I fear Aqua Jet here, and I don't really get a choice on the matter. I think I end up sacking Azelf to punish a non-Aqua Jet play. Which I think is what happens. He is going to withdraw. I don't regret clicking Psychic. Actually, no, I should have clicked Fire Blast there, because if he's Aqua Jet, then he is going to attack and... No, because I'm faster, so I don't know if this... that's debatable. Because if he's Aqua Jet, I die there anyways, and the move I click doesn't matter. If I click... He's not going to click Surging Strikes into that, though, so I guess Fire Blast was the correct play in the sense that if he doesn't Aqua Jet, he's going to switch. So he goes into Drapion, and then 2 Fire Blasts kills Drapion from here. I'm going to Fire Blast and miss. I get upset about this in the commentary. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean shit. It might... No, I don't think it means anything. I think I tried to rationalize it, but every way I rationalized it, it didn't matter in the long run. Because I still end up losing to Mudsdale regardless. So I think I send in Zera and Thunderbolt. I think if I had Volt Switch, then that might have mattered, because then I can Volt Switch back in my Steelix. But I didn't. I changed it for knockoff because I literally never clicked Volt Switch in any of my mocks ever. No, I think it matters in the sense that he lives as Earthquake now. I clicked Heavy Slam. Well, that's unfortunate. Why did I click Heavy Slam? That one I have nothing for. I don't know. Oh, I did click Earthquake. Okay. So I think he lives this here. Does he live this? Yes. It matters in the sense that he lived the Earthquake. I don't know if that really would have mattered, because what does he have left? He has Mudsdale. It depends on what he sends out. He has Lele, Mudsdale, URSHIFU. Actually, it may have mattered in that sense, because when you think about it, if I hit the Fire Blast, Azelf goes down, Steelix comes in, Earthquake onto the Drapion, then kills Drapion. His options are Lele, which sets up Terrain. Lele, which sets up Terrain. URSHIFU can't Revenge. No, but he still has Mudsdale, so I don't think it matters. I think regardless of what happens here, Mudsdale's always at a range of health. To not die to Grass Knot. So I think no matter what bullshit way I try and rationalize the Fire Blast miss, it doesn't matter. I played too pussy. It should have died 20 hours ago when I should have clicked Fire Blast every time URSHIFU was in, but I got too scared. Hindsight should have ran D-Gleam as well, because it really covered that mid-ground play every time, but I didn't. I'm sorry, I didn't. He's going to send in Bosco, the URSHIFU. This thing is going to click Surging Strikes. And this is like my one sliver of hope, is hoping that JV is Leftovers or Rocky Helmet or not Rindo Berry. If he's not Rindo Berry on his Mudsdale, I actually win here with Zero Aura. So I can click Grass Knot, or hope he chokes. Hope he chokes and goes for aggressive diff. That's the other way I win this. Which is a stupid play on his end, but listen, I have to play to my outs. My outs aren't very good here. I go into Zera. Grass Knot kills URSHIFU from here. So if he does make the aggressive Mudsdale play for some reason, I 2-hit KO Mudsdale coming in and win that way. But he's just going to let me have the URSHIFU here, which obviously is his correct play. He has no reason to risk that. And my play here is to either A, hope I crit the Grass Knot. If I crit the Grass Knot, I can knock off the Lele. If it's Scarfed, knock into Thunderbolt kills. If he specs knocking off, I take any one hit and I kill with Thunderbolt the following turn. So I definitely could have killed the Lele, but getting past this Mudstill would have been impossible without the crit here. And I just didn't get enough damage off on it. In hindsight, he is Rindoberry. Yeah, I just wasn't able to force it in. I didn't get Zera in at all this game, which was really bad because, again, forcing Zera in would have forced knockoff onto this thing, and forcing knockoff onto this would have eventually popped his Rindo, or got rid of his Rindo, which would have let me win the game here. Zera's going to go down. I'm not going to be able to take an Earthquake, unfortunately. Even though I am quite bulky, I am still but a Zera Aura, and we are going to lose 2-0 to JV and his Atlanta Victinis. But definitely not a game that I'm not unproud of, but definitely well deserved by Jay, as he out-prepped me. He played very well, made some amazing doubles with the URSHIFU, knowing that URSHIFU just absolutely massacred my team, and just knew what he needed to do to really win the game. So GG's to JV. Make sure you guys go check him out. He's a phenomenal player, phenomenal person, and great quality on his videos and thumbnails and everything on every part of production he does really good on. We fall to 3-4, which is really bad considering how tight the league is. Everybody in the league is 3-4 right now, which is like so fucking tight. We are 3-4 with 0 differential because I've taken every loss down to like a 1-0. This is actually my biggest loss. No, Mount was my biggest loss, but that's because he had 2 Mons at 1 HP that wouldn't die to fucking high horsepower. I'm still mad about by the way. Yeah, so we fall to 3-4. Next week we play Badass Frostlass, and I absolutely need to pick up the dub that game. Because Badass Frostlass and Lars are my last 2. I'm very confident I can win those games, and they're both lower seeds as well, so it's not like they're in a huge race for playoffs. But everyone else around me is in playoffs, which means they're fighting each other, so we're a little bit on a tightrope, boys, but hopefully we can pull this back and hopefully make playoffs in CGT. So if you guys enjoyed today's post-commed Wi-Fi battle with a little more like analytic to it, make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe button down below. I apologize once again, but quality will be back to norm next week. And yeah, so with that, I'm gonna get on out of here. Thank you guys for watching. My name's Kurt, and I'll see you guys next time. On the left hand side will be YouTuber Derek coming for you. On the right hand side will be the rest of our CGT Season 2 playlist if you haven't checked it out already. So with that, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you guys for watching. My name's Kurt, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace. I'm out. Bye.